Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all happy and healthy. Today I thought I would share with you 5 tips to get the most out of your planner supplies. So if that interests you and you would like to see it, be sure to hit that subscribe button down below and we'll get straight into the video. So for the first one I thought of, and this is a big one that I've been using for the past, since last year actually. So for a few months now. And that is to actually cut these sticker dots in half for when it comes to color coding and decor. Now what I mean by that, I'm going to show you an example of what I'm talking about because you're probably thinking, what do you mean? So for an example, you can chuck them on here as like little halves. So that's how I've kind of changed the look in my planner to make it different from all the dots. And it's just, sometimes it gets a little annoying and a bit repetitive of having the same thing over and over again. And I was sitting down trying to think, okay, what can I do that makes it different, a little bit, you know, change it up a little, but still functional. And that's when I decided to cut these sticker dots in half, and it's a different color, and I get more use out of them rather than wasting a full dot. So I've been cutting them in half and I've been using them as a payday kind of thing or system for my planner, and it works really, really well. And that's how I have been using them. And all I do is simply grab out my sticker sheet, I grab some tweezers, pull this off, and then grab a pair of scissors and then cut them in half. Honestly, it has been such an awesome idea that I've decided to do this, because not only do I save myself from buying so many of these through the year, they actually last a lot longer and more use, and you're not wasting so much money because you're utilizing it. I hope I use that word perfectly, but I hope you understand what I mean. But you do definitely get more use out of it, and it does make your planner look that little bit nicer. Moving on to the second one, and that is to use your highlighter as a decor feature. And as you all know, this is my favorite highlighter. It's just a highly recommended thing that I always tell everyone that they should definitely give a try and definitely buy. It's a nice neutral color that I love about it. And what I do when I mean use your highlighter as a decor feature, I'll show you an example of what I mean. So here I've just used this highlighter as a little bit of a decor thing, just to give off, you know, it was just too plain for me. So I thought, let's do a little bit of a highlight there. And it breaks up the, you know, the whiteness and the, you know, just the plain look, and it just brought that out a little bit nicer. Not only that, you can use it for highlighting things off, so checking it off for when it is done. You can also use it in your weekly view. Hopefully this shows. So in this, it was just basically highlighting and drawing my attention to this area of that's important, that needs to be done, do not forget. In the past, I have used it as just checking it off and ticking it off, which I will show you. Because I've been using it for my Animal Crossing thing. So here it is. Here's my list. So I've been ticking these off. Oh, I just realized this is a new one I've created. So my old one, I actually used to highlight them off. Obviously, I don't do that anymore. But another example, you can just use it as a nice highlighting feature. I did used to do it in my weekly view where I would just highlight like over this, just to make it a little bit nice. It actually turned out really beautiful, so I probably will go and do that again when I run out of these, but that's another great way of using a highlighter. Moving on to the third one, and that is to use sticky notes rather than inserts to write everything down. Now, I just showed you a second ago, but this is what I mean. So rather than wasting a full sheet of paper just to write a little note, I would recommend grabbing some sticky notes and writing your little note on there, and then the great thing is you can pull it off and then put it in the rubbish and then replace it with a new one. So as you can see, the bottom down here is blank because I actually did use the sticky notes. So what I would do is come to the back here, pull it off, and then replace it in the front. That way I still have my sticky note. Sometimes I do just go straight to the back and start writing any notes on here, which works just as well. I just love the fact that I can jot down a quick note and not have to waste so much paper. So this will last you a lot longer. Not only that, sticky notes are so much cheaper rather than buying inserts after inserts constantly, because they do get pricey in the end. But I do recommend getting sticky notes. They will last a lot longer. You're not wasting so much paper, and they are so much cheaper. Moving on to the fourth one, and that is to use dashboards that are simple rather than the year-dated ones. Now, they will last a lot longer and for years for you. So what I mean by that is get these kinds of things. Get these kinds of simple dashboards. They will last you a lot longer. Whenever it came to these sub boxes that I was getting, you would get the year on it where it would say 2022 or 2023. And that's just not for me, because I hate buying something that will not last me forever. And that's why I've opted for mainly looking at these. And they, like I said, they will last you for years. And you can get many different patterns. I love the milk vellum of it. And like you can get many different ones as well. Here's another one. That's another dashboard, but I just use it as like a breakup from all the others. But again, rather than using ones that are dated for the year, I find these ones so much better, and they last you a lot longer, and you can just keep using them until they basically die. All right, the last one, number 5. If you have an expensive tracker or anything that you use as like a reference to remind you of something, instead of writing it every year, simply just reuse it again and again each year. So what I mean about that, I'm trying to find the area for you. So what I mean when I say that is basically, I'm trying to find it, sorry. So when it comes to reusing something every year, that is like this. For example, I have this. I know it's pretty chicken scratch at the moment, but that's just because it was written years ago now. And this I use as a reference because this never usually changes. And rather than rewriting it every single year, I just keep it in my planner because it never changes. And that's what I've decided to keep. Another thing, like I said, the finance. Now I'm going to show you what I mean. And that's, I will block out the numbers so that way, you know, it's still private. But what I mean is I keep track of all of our bills, and if I know that it's not going to change the next year, I will reuse this. I will reuse it until that is completely gone. 9 times out of 10, I just cross it off neatly, or I just rewrite it because sometimes the bills will either go up or down, depending on what it is. But that's what I mean by reusing your inserts that you know for a fact that you use as a reference to remind you of something that happens almost always and never changes. So that's another great way of using it and basically, you know, getting the most out of your planner supplies. So there you have it, lovelies. I hope you all enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a comment down below and let me know what your tip is for how you get the most out of your planner. Maybe you have something that I haven't figured out yet. I'd love to know. Let me know anyway down in the comments below. Love to hear it. And thank you for taking the time out of your day and watching this video. I really do appreciate it. And don't forget to be positive and give love. Bye.